One of the most frequently asked questions I receive is how does being a Marine translate into parenting? Like, what lessons do you learn from being a Marine that make you either more or less effective as a parent? I always go into these long stories, and you can look at all the YouTube channels and interviews I have out there. I usually talk about that quite a bit and some of the great lessons I learned. But this morning I was reflecting on some of the things that I think that I do, not necessarily because of the Marine Corps, but I know it's the reason that the Marine Corps recruited me. For example, I know the Marine Corps recruited me because I don't mind doing hard things. I enjoy being in uncomfortable situations that I know are going to lead me to growth. So I love that, and I want that to become a part of my children's lives. And this is an example of how it happened yesterday. So I decided to tell my son, okay, he's going to crutch, right? We went to the hospital, he injured his leg, and it's time for his follow-up, his post-op. And I was like, well, you know what? How about we just do with crutches, man? You know, it's not going that far. You know, this is a good opportunity for you to stretch out. You haven't been getting outside, so let's do it. And it sounds great, right? It sounds like a great parenting tip, right? Go out and stretch your legs. You have the crutches for a reason. Not a bad idea. But then, as I continue to think about, going through the hospital, I'm like, okay, we took the wrong turn, dude. Be okay with that. You know, you should be okay with being uncomfortable. And then we go another way. We turn another time, and he's like, yeah, I'm almost at 1,000 steps, and I'm like, 1,000 steps. That's nothing, man. What is that, like half a mile? And I'm thinking about these things in reflection, and I had to go back and think about all the things that I'm saying, not because I'm a Marine, but because who I am as a Laulu Ogunyemi, the things that I'm projecting now on my son, the things that I enjoy doing, the things I think that are going to best prepare him for life, and I'm already setting him up by telling him all these things that he needs to do. And that's why I had to stop and think. I had to reflect. And that's not necessarily the most flattering parenting moment, but it's a good opportunity for me to reflect and think about what my children think a Marine is. And because I'm the example to them of what a United States Marine is, and I'm the example of what a man should be for my son. I'm an example of what a man should be for my daughters. And those are the kind of things that I would have to reflect on. And I encourage other parents to go out and reflect on those kind of things. Not what your profession causes you to do, but really who you are on the inside at your core, and what are your beliefs that you may be projecting onto your children instead of leading them through all those things. Now, I'm not saying it was right, wrong, or indifferent for me to have him crutch through the hospital, but I am saying that I know the feeling I had on the inside when he wanted to take a break and he started looking for a wheelchair. And I'm thinking, well, dude, what do you need a wheelchair for? Wow, you just don't want to, you want to quit? You don't want to even try anymore? That's the feeling I have on the inside. And I think that's the kind of stuff that we need to examine as parents and start thinking about. And that's just proof that we're all on our parenting journey. We're all learning and we're trying to grow together.